So first, I want to talk a little bit about the specifics of this case, and then I want to just broaden it out because there are a lot of people who are more suspicious of unwelcome or unannounced visitors. People feel scared in some communities. They're on edge, partially based on what they see on television and the news.
Yeah.
So, Chris, Kansas is a stand your ground state. What exactly does that mean for this case?
So stand your ground only modifies the common law defense of self-defense by saying you do not have a duty to retreat. It does not allow you to blow somebody away because they knock on your door and pose you no threat, which appears to be the case here in this case with this young man. So we'll see if that law applies. I find it dubious that the police would just take the homeowner's word that this kid was somehow a threat. It doesn't appear by any other reports that that was the case.
Well, we don't know
Stand your
what
ground does not allow you to just to shoot somebody.
Right, absolutely not. But we don't know what this gentleman said about why he decided to fire. We're still awaiting a little bit more clarity as to whether that young man had just rang the doorbell, as some early reporting said, or if he actually stepped foot in the house, assuming that he knew these people, that these were friends of the family. You know, you're comfortable. You just walk in after ringing that doorbell.
Right.
I know I did that as a kid all the time with my neighbors. But what about the suspect's age? 85 years old. We all have a grandfather or a family friend who is above a certain age, might be experiencing some type of dementia or Alzheimer's, or is just edgy because the world is a scarier place.
Yeah.
Does that play into this case for the defense?
I think possibly, right? I think we've got too much paranoia and too many guns in this country. And unfortunately, that's leading to more and more incidents like this. Look, when you arm people to the teeth and tell them every single day that they should be afraid, bad things are going to happen. And that, unfortunately, is what's happening in America today. And God, I hope we get past this at some point.
That'd be nice, but it doesn't seem like we're going in that direction. It seems like we're going further downhill in a lot of ways. What's the best way to respond? If you have somebody coming to your door, you don't know who they are, it's not about suspicion necessarily, as you want to protect yourself because you weren't expecting anybody that late at night or any time of day. So what should you do if somebody comes to your door and you feel like this could be a threat?
I think if you feel like somebody's going to be a threat, you shouldn't come to your door. You should call authorities and deal with it. I think it's unlikely that somebody at your door is a threat unless you live in an area where those kinds of activities are happening regularly. Look, I mean, I've had death threats. I've been on TV for 15 years. I've had death threats. I would never think to open my door and open fire on someone. I would assess the situation before I did anything of that nature. I think that we live in a world where everybody's looking at their security cameras, at their doorbell camera, and wondering who's at the door. And most Americans, a lot of Americans nowadays, have those devices and have the ability to judge who's at their door before they even come to their door.
What about in terms
I mean, look, I've also, one other thing, I'll say this. You know, working in politics my whole life, I have knocked on thousands of doors of people who I do not know. And I've had very few people be rude to me, let alone threaten me.
Okay, but you are of a certain age, Chris. No offense. I mean, you are just a little shade above 30.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
The world has changed, Chris, in the past decade.
I've been doing it since I was 15. I was a paper boy.
You were.
I mean,
I was a paper girl in my 20s and 30s, so I get it. But there was another case similar to these two that we mentioned, just in New Mexico, where police went to the wrong address this month, and the homeowner was killed. So, I mean, people are on the defense. People, you know, emotions are high. What are your rights as somebody who's like, you know, what should I do? Should I just not open the door? Should I put my hands up as soon as somebody comes to the door? If it's an officer, like, what is the answer?
I think when the police come to your door, you should treat them with respect and you should be concerned. Now, the case where this man was gunned down by police in his doorway, I mean, I am very suspicious of that case. This guy gets woken up in the middle of the night. The police are at his door and they open fire. I think that there is a training issue with those police that needs to be addressed by that department. I've watched that video several times. It is very disturbing, and I feel for that man and his family who was shot. And I also understand that the police might go into a situation where a person has a gun and they are concerned and fearful for their own life, and there's some training that needs to be held there. This is the problem, Adrienne. We live in a country where everyone is on edge and many of us are armed. And I think we all need to take a breath before we act, and especially before we pull a trigger.
Yeah, well, taking a deep breath before you do anything or say anything is just wisdom. Chris Hahn, see, wise beyond your years.
Yes, wise of my years, according to you, I guess. Jesus Christ.
The world has changed, Chris, since you started door knocking at 15. I'm just saying. I think a lot of people would agree with me. You don't look a day over 30. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.